So we'll start off with naming Hintak.ádi. Hintak.ádi. We're going to name water animals, and we'll try not to repeat the same name. So if somebody says one that's already been said, we'll say De'utua'ach. We already heard it. Or you could say Yeyawaka, Susie, or whoever says it. And no big deal. We'll just try and get another one. This might be, those who live on the coast might be at an advantage, but there's lots of things that live in lakes. Lots. So we'll just start with that and we'll send it around, see how many times we can go around. No pressure, nobody wins, nobody loses. If you can't think of anything, just say hooch, and then we'll just go around once or twice, 3, 4 times, a million. Any questions before we start? Okay, let's go. Oh, and then we'll try not to use English once we start the exercise. You can yell and holler all you want, as long as it's in Tlingit, whatever you want. Chadasay tuasaku, Tlingit qinachil wasakakot. Who wants to go first? Okay.
Eddie.
Oh. Guk.
Adusa.
Kinyaga.
Yai.
Oh. Yawa. Yai.
Late Yai.
Late Yai. Okay.
Ton.
Ton.
S'igeidí.
Dasa.
S'igeidí.
S'igeidí. Okay. Takwa. On. Se. Okay. Talk nasi. Okay.
Yak.
Yak. Okay. Game. Game. Away. Oh, just play the hint. Yeah, achtos a good the okay, you can cheese. Wetsu, I guess a good key alcohol. It was out to oh, cheat. Okay. Tlachanes, that's the way.
Keat.
Sheesh. Keat. Audagon.
Dagasa.
Yake, Dakasa. Yeah, oh, sheesh. Anyanachla.
Ow. Ow. Crab.
Chatsayachke. Kashke, Kadeuji.
Luke.
Ook, okay.
Ashat.
Yake, Ashat Yewa. Sheesh. Yitkoa Kuatan. Yitkoa.
Tak'áchʼ.
Hauk nasi deutua achkoa. Chakutaga.
Tan.
On. Wait, that's who. There to ach.
Ta.
Ah, you can cheese. Oh, teach. Eat koha. Tasacha yichot. Desai.
Kindertunate.
Kinder tunate. Okay, cheese.
Sorry.
Ah, okay. Gewoon kleine eat koha.
Tlaq. Tlaq. Red eye.
Oh, okay. Cheese. Yilt uchla eat koha.
Sheesh. And coney fish.
Yeah, cheese. Okay. We dakakati awa. Kwasi saku. Daislin. Ito agesagu yi dekakwahi.
Yen.
Yen. Dehwa akha. Ach, yeah, awa. Ya kegan cheese. Just what aga. To clean aga what. Oh, Daislin ku. Bob Seeger aga. Suhat u good was. Cheese. Ach ayi. Gwas shachk. Yit khoha. Huchaka? Oh, okay. Oh, konakadate. Yeah, wa. Eka ataya. Ach. Ach, dew tu ach. Dew chedach deislin ko. Hushta. Yeah, wa.
Yeesh. Shao.
Ish. Shao. Yake.
Yaxley Slay.
Yashu slate. Yeah, wa. Yakdat ko asag. Yehasa yasag. Tushugo atcha. Yake. Anya nach klar. Eat khoha.
Knock.
Knock. Yeah, wa. Yake. Audagan.
Zanti.
Zanti. Yake. Cheese. Tachanades.
Niece.
Knees. Yake. Yake. Audanis. Yewa. Kashke. Ka deoji. Yid koha.
Yao.
Yewa. Yao. Yake.
Yates Ahu.
Yesh tsahu. Yake. Kan cheese. Kutan. Yid koha.
Dagasa.
Dakasa. Deo tua ach. Chakutage isaku.
Kanka.
Kan.
Kanka.
Kanka. How? Yake. Cheese.
And Ganka.
Gan.
Ka.
Oh, Guncha. Yeah, Guncha. Chasaku. Sakinya eat koha.
Ich.
Hicht. Yake. Gun cheese. Teeth eat koha.
Flute.
Shoot. Oh, yake. Shoot. Yeah, yake. Cheese. Juan Kleine eat koha. Tuienaka.
Tsach.
Deo tua'ach.
Like Zook.
Oh, you can. Yeah, you can. Yilt utla eat koha.
Tayadi.
Oh, Atayedi. That's good knee. You can. Gwash achit koha. Das a tlech koach. Yacht. Achu yucht. You can. Sukke adusa au saku. Cha adusa. Adusa will eat cake. Tai, yewa, yake.
Cha.
Naukuga,
Cha.
deo tua ach. Adusa ko awe eat ka ai. Ya, tat yake. Sage, sage.
Kutlekwa.
Kutlechwa, yake. Yewa, atlein at. Tan, ten kachati.
Xiao. Xiao.
Sauga,
Xiao.
gao.
Like. Xiao.
Oh, yewa, shao. Yake gans chish. Deo tua ach ko
Uh-oh.
S'igeidí, yake gans chish. Yewa.
Con.
Con. That's the way wait. That's the way they call it.
Dolphin.
Oh, yeah, away. Con. Yeah, away. Yake. Tachonach yake. Chichiga. Yake. Yachwit lach. Okay, Johan. Zanzi. Dev to ach. Hasko ta. Sluk.
Teach.
Teach.
Shots.
Sauce. Chas. Yeah, away. Tlecha. Tlecha. Shukach. God. Yeah, away.
Yeah.
Hasu. We God. Kachuk. Gwashwe na dai hina yikte hasu wakak. Ak. Chas. Yeah, away. Dev to
Quat. Quat.
quad. Yeah, away. Quad.
Like quat.
Oh, quad. Yeah, away.
Oh, quad.
Yeah, away.
Ish king.
Ishkin. Yeah, away. Okay, at. Shleq. Wait, that's it.
Eta.
That's it.
Eta.
Oh, Kate. Okay. Yeah, away. Keat. Yai. That's how it's a. Yai. Oh, you okay.
S'igeidí.
S'igeidí, deo tua ach. That's it. Vienaka.
Chalk.
Chalk. Yeah, away. Sa. Techwa ach. Ha'e. Coon. Yeah, away. Okay. Tai, deo tua ach koa. Okay.
Tus.
Twos. Oh, twos. Yeah, away. Khatku. Wait, that's it.
Got.
God. Deo tua ach. Shleq. Yeah, away. How? Today. Yeah, away. Wait, that's it. Okay. That's the way. I do say okay.
Saku.
It's ahu. Deo tua ach. S'igeidí. Deo tua ach. Deo ji chedach.
Wake.
Wake. Llewch again. Like,
You think about
okay.
Slit is stuck.
Oh, how? Okay. Yeah.
It is
How? Gosh.
wake.
Oh, yeah, away.
where.
Wait.
Oh,
Yeah, away. Yeah, away. Gonna cheese. How?
I know what it is. Something where.
Yeah, away. Yeah, away.
Knock. They already said it. Day 2.
Ah, yeah, away.
It is stuck. And then there's ya, oh, I know. Tuk.
Oh, tuk,
Tuk
yeah.
yach. Tuk yach.
Yeah, yeah, away. Okay. Uakan again? Hintak.ádi? Ah, has auch saku. Uhans ku. Uts. Seek, yeah, away. Kate. Achu awe, Kate. Okay.
Gish.
Ish. S'igeidí. alak'áchʼ. Suffixes.
Delay.
Delay. Yeah.
Kotsk.
Ah. Okay.
Shoot.
Daukasa?
Shoot. Heel.
Oh, yeah, what? Yeah, what? Stay to ach. We teach. Gedach. Okay. Cheese. Sock.
Sock.
Ishukata ya yakwaka. Oh,
No.
klasa yakutlak.
Oh, sock.
Ah. Jakutaka. Gosh. Zich. How? She had the hain. Klein at. Jakutaka. We. Talk.
Hintak.ádi. Water beetle.
Hintak.ádi. Okay. Yeah, what? Oh, kukena. Nichkach ataswishkeni. Kachunach wuke. Acho we at kautle yiji ako hintak. Yehas na teach. Yak we. Gunilchish yuhan. Kachunach wuke. Shidehini wuchin. Ye awe kleinach ka. Chay genki Wutusaku. Tlingit Yukatangi Wushagu Aushagugu. Tlingit that was kuku Ya uhanka wuchin shitahini wutusaku. Achtu yakea dat chish. Yeah, thanks everybody. That was lots. So if we just work together, we've got lots. And so I think it's just a fun exercise to see how many we can name. And then also just to sort of show that if we work together, we know lots and lots of stuff. Like one person knows quite a bit. If they're like a culture bearer, knowledge bearer, then they know lots. But then us, we're learning, but then collectively we can get a bunch. And then it should also hopefully get us just thinking about filling these boxes of things, thinking about the natural world. Untitled things of the forest, or sometimes they'll call them Untitled, Untitled, and then Hintak.ádi, the things in the water, Kayani, the plants, Untitled, the things that fly around. So, okay. Anybody got any language questions? Things you were thinking about?
I went to CTA today for Paratovich Day. and they had an elder there. Her name was Mary, and I asked her what her name was in Tlingit, and she said whatever the name was, and then she said it means keeper of the history or something like that. Yes, keeper of the. She keeps track of their clan history apparently, and that's her name.
Okay.
So I don't recall what it was. I wonder if you might know what a name for that.
No. Yeah, and so the names, they can be pretty tough. Like, and so it could vary from place to place, interpretations, contractions. So I'm pretty bad with names in all languages, and so, but no, I hadn't heard of that. There are some that are kind of a little more straightforward in terms of how to translate them, but it could be something that that's always a tough one if they know the translation, but maybe not the name, because it could be sometimes names are made up for very specific things. Sometimes the name also gets associated with a characteristic of the person who holds the name. Some of them are more straightforward, and so, yeah, I don't know that one. Anyone else?
Wasa duasak yata Tlingit hena seawolf.
Qunaqadate. Qunaqadate. And in Haida, it's Wasco. So that comes from southeast. Qunaqadate is a wolf that has fins, is very large. If you touch it, I think you get good luck. There was a young man who caught one and wore its skin and would go hunting in the ocean. It's a pretty long story. It's an amazing story. The Wasco story is almost identical. It helped get people out of a famine. And it's really interesting. And we talk about these patterns that are in some of the stories, and you could find some that are in that story. But yeah, Qunaqadate. And they call it, I think if you look in the dictionary, it just says sea monster or legendary. Legend. Yeah, that's all it says, right? Okay. Anything else?
Did you say Wasco as in Oregon Wasco?
I don't know if it's the same. Like, I know there's a place called Wasco, but it's Wasco, Wasgo, and that's the Haida name for that sea wolf. Qunaqadate is what it's called. And there's a few different Qunaqadate stories. I think the main ones was when it came by somebody's boat, and then the other one was that young man who caught it and then wore its skin, and he would become the Qunaqadate when he put its skin on. Okay. Okay, so we've got, we're quite a ways into this thing, doing a lot of fun stuff. I know Gonna 8 has a verb exercise that you guys were showing us earlier. I don't know or is that yours?
Well, it's a job.
Oh, sorry, Chuck.
I'm just the artist.
You guys have collectively created this this verb card game, which I thought was really awesome. There's also, and maybe we could just talk about kind of learning tools, ideas. There's alak'áchʼ has come up with and engineered a number of different language games, and I think other folks have as well. There was one that came out of Alak'áchʼ that you play like spoons. I don't remember. Spoons is like a game where I always forget how to play it, like Pinnacle. I don't know how to play Pinnacle, but if we start playing Pinnacle, I know how to play Pinnacle. But that one is descriptive. So like we're still at the point where we're sort of having fun and we're naming things. But what we're going to start doing now, because we've done the plants and the water animals and the land animals and the birds. So what we're going to do now is I would like us to be able to start describing things. So if I say, okay, tell me 5 things about this S'igeidí. You should be able to tell me 5 things. Can we say 5 things? So now we're talking about it. So either the way it looks, the way it behaves, things that we know about it. And so this is sort of the next phase from, we're getting pretty good at naming things, but now being able to put together these sort of descriptive or behavioral type of things, that's a really good step to be taking in our language use and learning. Because this is what I found is we would just be studying, and I'd be like, tell me what's happening over there. And then we'd be like, and so just trying to think of how to do that. So can we come up with 5 things about S'igeidí? S'igeidí. Can
S'igeidí we S'igeidí.
Tuch'yacheti we S'igeidí. Yeah, away. Tuch'yacheti du dachawu we S'igeidí. Right? Yeah, away. Chat S'igeidí. Yeah, okay. Okay. Alak'áchʼ. Okay. Oh, yeah, away. Yeah, away. Talk to nach natach. So this is the other step that we'll take here, and I'll show you guys something on the screen, is let me pull up my verb thing. So when we start talking about so we're talking about appearance, and then sometimes what the appearance will be, it's black, right? But then if another step to take, because if we said they sleep through the winter, tak is the winter, tunach will be through it. Sometimes it's chanach if we're talking about days, but tunach is like it's a long time. And then ta is the verb for sleeping. So here it is, to sleep. And so nata or natade, I'm sure some of us have heard that in the course of our lifetime. And then, but we're going to go down to this one, natach. So we're at the point where we'll be looking these up, but we're also going to figure out how to put these things together, because it sleeps through the winter all the time. So we call these habitual forms because it always does that. And so same with tuch, yach, natich, because they're all, well, there's like a blonde one now and then, or a white one, but they are black. So the natich, natach, and so when you start looking these up and using them, you're going to find there's a pattern there. And just look at it, just remember sometimes you're going to drop the natich in there, and it means always like that, right? So someone says, "Gao ich go you're late. Natich, I'm always late." Or maybe they're saying something nice, like you're funny, right? But then you don't want to brag. Okay, anyways. So, but natach, and there's a few things. There's going to get the conjugation prof. So we talked a little about this. When we look up this verb, we see this na in the parentheses. That's the conjugation type. So the prefix, it's going to come up in the command form, nata. And it's going to come up in this habitual form, natach. It'll come up a few other times. And so this is just something that we're going to start seeing. And we'll start sort of using this a little bit. And so talk to nach natach, tuch yach natich, chat katlech, acha. And then some of them, like it eats that, you're fine just saying acha. Because if you were to say like klech, and you were going to say like this one, so we'll go down and we'll see cha, to eat. And then we want to look for the they have these habituals, u'cha'ych. But then what you're saying is like, that's kind of the only thing that it eats. Not all the time, but acha is just fine because you're saying it eats that, right? Okay, so we got three. What are two other things we know about S'igeidí? Ah, okay.
Llall Sheetcock Wutich West Eek.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so then for this one, we know how to say something is somewhere, right? And so yati, and then, so we'll go find this one. There's a million of these T verbs. And I think this one is under to stay there, right? And they have chank, but what you're going to find is that duchan, you can change that out for like sheet kuk or alak'áchʼ, day sleen. It could be a place, right? Seattle. And so you're going to see yeyati as it's there, right? It stays there, it lives there. It's basically how this one kind of works. And then you could have this one too, like yena teach. It's always there. But if you say ye unna teach, the negative form doesn't mean it's never there. It just means when you do the straight negative form of this habitual verb, it means it hasn't been there yet. So this is also kind of an interesting logical thing in Tlingit. If you wanted to say, I haven't eaten that yet, right? Hey, do you like, I don't know, do you like walrus? I haven't eaten it yet. But that doesn't mean I don't eat it, right? And so for that one, I would probably just say, they're not in Sitka. And there's another verb that you could use for that, which would be quwa'u, to reside somewhere. Either one of them, I think, is fine. Okay. Gets us to Dankun.
Cut. S'igeidí.
Chawu.
How they eat everything.
Oh, yeah. Chashtakata tasacha. They eat everything. Shtakata tasacha. Ye'awa. Okay. Okay. And I think I heard, so another thing that you can do with this verb list is you can do Command or Control F. Oh, I think someone's in the chat room. Sorry, I wasn't watching that. Okay, so you can search, and if we look for, oh wait, no, it's not there. Here it is, in the page, climb. And so, well, you can also do a search on this list, and then you'll find climb, right? And so you can say to climb up it, so you could say os. I would just say os. Maybe I'd use this one. Yeah, I'd probably use this one because they do it pretty regularly, right? Os K Ush'ait. So they climb trees, right? So that's another one that you could use. And this is a fun part to start getting into thinking about, because sometimes we're describing what the thing looks like. Sometimes we're describing its behavior. Like how is another one. I think that one should be in here. So you could say hastad zechao. It's hairy, right? It's got fur around its body, right? And so that's another thing that you could say. And as we think of how to describe these things, where they live, what they eat, sometimes we're getting into their behaviors and other things like that. Now that's a fun sort of stage to kind of challenge yourself. And you're going to get into some things like, colors, hair, and some other, and so that's what we had. We had, it's black. This is what it eats. It sleeps through the winter. And so those are some things where it's sort of getting, some of them are more behavioral things, some of them are appearance things. Okay.
Could you say Untitled?
You would say, that's a good question. So I got to show you guys this graphic. Let's see where I have it. So when we started thinking about the relationship between things, so there's this graphic here which kind of is looking at when we talk about where things are at and where they're going, there's kind of like these three types of things. There are things that don't need to belong to anything. Up above, deki, down below, deyi, out to sea, dock, up to the inland, dock. You could just say those things, and they are all about these sort of fixed points in the Tlingit thought world. And there's a list of them. If you go in S'igeidí, there's a list of lots of them. And you're going to have to this is another box you're going to have to fill up full of things, right? To the inlands, to the sea, way out to sea, and stuff like that. So that's kind of, I've got them on an illustration like this. So again, if there's a dash in front of it, that long dash, that means it has to belong to something. So that's the second kind of thing. So you can have ke, but that has to belong, it has to be something, like it's a tree trunk, the base of a spine, the bottom of a hill. That's what ke is. So when you have zanti, ke, hini, that's the second thing in zanti kehini. So you're going to see ke pop up, and then it's the type of thing you're like, okay, let me look before it, then I know what it belongs to. There's also a term, kesani. Anybody know what kesani is in English? Little boys.
Little boy.
Little boys, correct. And when Nora was telling me about it, she said, because they're all spine, right? Because kesani is they're like little tree trunks, is basically what boys are in Tlingit. So then there's others that are going to have to, so some of them have to belong to something. So that's what the thing is. There's ones that stand on their own, there's ones that have to belong to a noun, and then there's suffixes. So suffixes attached directly to another word. De, dach, nach, the T, we've seen those. So there's also some conceptual stuff that we'll just have to think about, and sometimes we'll just have to just keep thinking about it and keep seeing how the people are talking. Because to be tu, usually that has to be something that closes. So to be tu, or it's some kind of abstract thing. So it could be inside of a closed box, but not inside of an open box. It could be inside your mind, but not if you took the top of your head off. Right? And it could be inside of some conceptual thing, like through the winter. Like you can go into the winter, talk to na'ati. That's your winter clothes. So that's talk to tukatashi, snow pants. Talk to kinak'ádi, that could be a snow jacket, right? So it's for in the winter. So tu is like concepts and closed containers. Yik is open containers, but they have to be pretty shallow. But yik is a complex thing because yik is also in the river. Yik is in the road because a road is a river. Yik is in the forest, and yik is in a tree. I guess
Sheesh.
open to the up above. So then you could, and it's interesting which ones the speakers will pick, because you would probably say as yikt with jakak weyech. That raven landed in the tree. So you're gonna get as yikt with the T on the end. Yikt means it got there. That's what the T is saying, it got there. Wujjakak is for it to land, or for something to squat, or for an octopus to walk, because they squat walk. So then, but sometimes they will say, as ye, as you dictate, because ye, and this is getting into some pretty fun conceptual stuff, ye is into a house, and sometimes the tree is somebody's house. Alak'áchʼ, one means S'igeidí. If Tlingit people know that thing sleeps in the tree, when it goes into the tree, sometimes they'll say as ye, which means it went home. And so there's some multi-level kind of stuff going on with these things. That's fun. So this is also, once we start describing the world, we're going to have to start thinking about this kind of stuff. Because when you say things like neishgu, you need to be inside the house to say neishgu. Because neish means come in. But it doesn't mean go in, because that's ye. You say ye when you're outside and neish when you're inside. That's kind of a long answer to the question. But that's why, this stuff where, pictures help, stories help, listening, and then you're going to start building your lists. Then as you listen to speakers, you're like, hey, there's one of those things. Or you say, oh yeah, I know how to use one of those things. Okay, any questions about that stuff?
So how would you say what you wanted to say?
Asyik ujakak. Asyik. Let's say asyik natej.
Yeah, why? Goodness, sheesh. And if it just happened and we're talking about, so this is that habitual thing. If it just happened and we're talking about it, we would use this perfective form. So you could say, asyik keu dictate. And then if it's, we're talking about, oh yeah, they go up into the trees, that's when it gets into that habitual thing, when you're saying it's a behavioral thing. It's something it does all the time. Okay, so we tackled like two big concepts in that one conversation. That's great. So there is a chapter that has a bunch of these in there. As we think about how these things work, we kind of go back to our, we start with our craft, right? So this is thinking about the ways that these directions and locations work. So here's this guy. We'll all say, Tsao. Tsao. It was right next to me. Yas'ao.
Yes.
Yas'ao. And if I'm telling a story about it and it's the main character in the story, he could also be Yas'ao. If he's kind of a bit of a ways away and I gotta go walk to him or her, Weis'ao. Weis'ao. Weis'ao.
Waste out.
So now it's, so ya, you could say is like this. We, you could say is like that. Right? And so now it could be weis'ao. And if I'm telling a story, it could also be we. Ya tends to be a little bit more immediate. It's like ya yesh. That they say that a lot in the Raven stories about how do my kids, I took my kids to preschool and my 5-year-old was telling this other kid, she said, what did she say? There's a big raven who made the whole world. She was telling a little kid, I was listening to her telling a little kid about it. And he's different than those other ravens. Heh is one that is not used as often as the others. You could say this thing is closer to me than it is to you. It's somewhere nearby, but I'm not exactly sure. And it's sort of heading in this direction, like when you say, S'igeidí shugach tutan. That's the he, is this one right here. So it's kind of towards this kind of area. It's a funky one, but you'll see it, you'll see it pop up in songs and stories and stuff. Hes'au. Hes'au. And if it's way over yonder, it's way over there. Yus'au.
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 So in the Raven stories, they'll say yeah, weh, and you for yesh. You yesh. Because they also are time markers. So yah is more like right now, and you is more like long time from now or a long time ago. But and so you'll see that used now and then. So this just further shows us time and space are the same thing, I think, in Tlingit. Yuk'ega? So really when you're using this, it just comes down to, are we talking about where this thing is in relationship to me as the speaker? Are we talking about where it is in relation to these fixed points in the Tlingit universe? Or are we talking about between two different objects? So those are your sort of three types of ways to talk about this kind of stuff. And so we come back to this guy. I think we did him before. So Untitled Chapter. I think they call him alak'áchʼ. So the na drops out when you go. When the squirrel went to test him, he's like, I don't need this na anymore, right? And then nadak'áchʼ. So then, like, continuing to just think about these concepts. So a nadak'áchʼ, if you wanted to say, you guys sit at the table. It's pretty interesting because in Tlingit you would say nadak'áchʼ yach'. So the yach part, which is Y, two A's, and an underline X, a long A, it's around the edge of something. And yach is talked about with a table and with bodies of water. So it's pretty interesting with Tlingit because niche is used quite a bit in sort of stories and some other conceptual type of things. There's lots of insults that have to do with niche. And that's the ocean's beach, right? That's not any other beach. It's only where the ocean is. Otherwise, it's yach or alak'áchʼ or yach. Yach is the riverbed. Yach is the side of the road, which continues to show you, like, in the Tlingit mind, the road is a river. So you're going to get in your car, and you're going to paddle home. So, not yet, but, in an hour or so. So then there's places, and so we'll see, here the word order matters. So there's the thing, then there's the relationship word to that thing, and then there could be the other thing, right? So this is between two things. And our focus point here is the table. It's not going anywhere. But this little guy is going all over the place. Maybe it's winter time. They like to come in the houses sometimes. Okay? So we'll say, Nadak'áchʼ shukat wekanalak'áchʼ.
Shukat wekanalak'áchʼ.
Nadak'áchʼ shukat wekanalak'áchʼ.
Nadak'áchʼ shukat wekanalak'áchʼ.
So there we got shukah and the T. Some of them, they like to have a suffix on them. Not all the time, but this is one where if it's there, it got there, and so it wants to have that T. So that T means it arrived there, or it's touching. It could be either one of those things. And you'll see that This also applies conceptually to some other things. So you could say, well, we'll find it, and then especially in verbs like he's going there, he got there. Then it would change to the T. N'dá'chʼ wé'canal'áchʼ.
Take. Wait, kind of sock.
N'dá'chʼ wé'canal'áchʼ.
Wait, kind of sock.
And so take is behind something, right? And then there's some other things you'll find, like ta'yatenach is like a secret, so it's behind people. It might be related to say uwate, to find something. So we see that te in the verb. There's also some other ones, because like if there's a house, where's that house going to be for Tlingit people? It's going to be near, at least for coastal Tlingits, it'll be near the ocean. So there's also one to say behind, but on the landward side, right?
So why does this one not take a T on the end?
That's a good question, because there's a few of them that will have a K. And then that K might disappear if you put a suffix on there. Because if he's going behind the table, you would say n'dá'chʼ. And then otherwise the K pops in and just sort of, and I'm not exactly sure why, but there's another one, Hintak. So tak is another one of these things. It means in the bottom of the water or the bottom of a cavity. But you could say hintanach. It's going along the bottom. And so there's a K that sometimes if there's a K, then if it's one of those Ks that kind of disappears, it'll fall off. It usually won't take the T. It's just kind of an interesting thing. Oh, okay. N'dá'chʼ wé'canal'áchʼ.
Cut. Wait, kind of sock.
N'dá'chʼ wé'canal'áchʼ.
Wait, kind of sock.
So to be on, right? But then it also implies that it got there too. So that one has the K. And then we're going to see that ka is, and there's some things in verbs where it's just conceptually going to go on there. So you say, alak'áchʼ, the cut part for forgetting it, it's on there as well. So there are a few things. And then there's these kind of metaphorical meaning type of things, because you could say that sickness came upon us. It's like it walked right on top of us. And then there's some of them where they're like gut means walked upon it, and that means diarrhea. It's like another way to say it. It's like a roundabout way to say it. There's a direct way to say it. Okay. N'dá'chʼ wé'canal'áchʼ. N'dá'chʼ wé'canal'áchʼ. So tayi is beneath something, right?
So remind me why there's the hyphen or whatever we'll call it.
Yeah, so the hyphen means there has to be a noun. So you can't just say, just like in English, you can't say, if someone says, hey, have you seen my keys? You can't say, they're under, right? They needs to grab onto something.
Did all of the others have that?
Ooh,
I
let's
don't know.
check. Shuka does, take does, ka does. So all of these do. And these are the ones, if we're looking at a relationship between two objects, those are the ones that are going to need to belong to something.
So what if it had to be part of the word? I mean, is it? Because I thought that's what the hyphen meant too.
Oh, okay. So yeah, this is the tricky part. So if we go back up here, this one is a little bit longer, and this one's the shorter one.
Okay.
So that's, we're still trying to figure out. This is the suggestion from Zeosh. So it's called an end dash, and that means it needs a word. The other one has a hyphen, and that means it. But the big thing is there's way more of these things than suffixes. There's really only about 10 suffixes, and so you can learn all of them, and then we'll keep using those same ones. But then with those ones, there's a whole bunch of those under, around, over. An M dash, an N dash, and a hyphen. Okay, we got 4 more squirrel things, and we'll take a break.
In font, in like measuring, there's N's and M's in typography.
You got hair spaces.
Option, hyphen.
Okay, so this one we're going to put a verb in there. Hun, to stand, right? Hun is to stand, right? For one thing to stand. So we'll say, Nadak dot hun we kanal'áchʼ.
That hun way kanal'áchʼ.
Nadak dot hun we kanal'áchʼ.
Hun way kanal'áchʼ.
Then we're always just focusing on vowel length and tone. Nadak dot hun we kanal'áchʼ. So the shortness and the longness is probably one of the things to probably put extra focus on, because it's real easy to say nadak dot hun, just to really shorten things up. Just, I don't know why. This is just something as you learn Tlingit that's okay. Oh, okay, goodness, cheesh. We can't always hear the questions that are asked, so I'll make sure to repeat the questions when I hear them. Okay. And this one is pretty fun, da, because it could be around or about, like the concepts, right? S'igeidí kakwanik, a dot aweh. I'm going to tell you about it. Alak'áchʼ, are you talking about me? So now we're going to deal with a little bit these last 3, because hun, you're just there. Once you start moving, now things get kind of different. And just remember in Tlingit, when they're moving, they're a little bit complicated. And that's just one of the things that we'll figure out. But in this case, to be in the act of walking, yanakut,
Yanakut.
yanakut,
Yanakut.
Nadak de yanakut we kanal'áchʼ.
Nadak de yanakut way kanal'áchʼ.
Nadak de yanakut we kanal'áchʼ. So day is towards. And there's some verbs where like the day is going to pop up when you go to the future form. Like I'll say, i'in kakwanik, I told you. I'ide kakwanik, I'm going to tell you. Or tesh'ide kakwanik, I'm not going to tell you. Then he can go away from it. Nadak dach yanakut we kanal'áchʼ.
Nadak yanakut way kanal'áchʼ.
Nadak dach yanakut we kanal'áchʼ.
Nadak yanakut way kanal'áchʼ.
Yeah, there's that hyphen. Okay. So here's the last thing, and then, well, what's this one doing? Well, not worry about him going around. Okay. So with suffixes, there is a tone rule with suffixes, and it goes like this. If it ends with a vowel, it will be opposite of the tone before it. So you're going to go hit, day, and you're going to go ne, day. So it'll always be the opposite tone of what's before it. If it ends with a vowel, if it's open, It will be opposite of the tone before it.
Okay, it is the,
The suffix itself.
okay, so the word is keeping its tone.
Yep.
Its stem tone.
Yep. So we'll write this.
Suffix does the opposite.
Yeah, so if you look up a suffix, it'll be written low. But that can change. That's just how Tlingit suffixes go. Just the same, like when we learn that possessive suffix, that's just the default rule for Tlingit suffixes. Here's number 2. If it's closed, it'll be high. That's it. Dach, nach. And so and there's not a whole lot of them, but they'll be high. So that's why you go nadak day, nadak dach, and that's just how they are.
So that what you're talking about is the suffix.
Yes, the suffix
The
itself.
end of the suffix, not the word it's being attached.
Yeah. The word won't really change.
Okay.
The only time the word will change is if you smash them together to form one thing.
Okay, so if it's a closed suffix, the tone is
High.
always.
It's always high. And if it's open, then it's always the opposite of what's before. Okay, now you know all about suffixes. My suffixes dot. And there's no, well, we better take our break. I'll just keep going down the wormhole. Okay. So let's take 5 and then let's take a look at a few things and do sort of a bit of a reading translation exercise with a short story. Let me change the view. So this is a fun story that came out of a project Untitled Yakutan away San Francisco da yekutu ya khat'áchʼ shat'á hayatki away kachshit weta we S'igeidí alak'áchʼ away kwasachtuasaku kinagachtutu akagachtu like akagachtu akagachtunik how let's see away ya wuchin ya awa achtuasaku in kachwaniki da yashkalniki chagudach ayi yatikha yiguginkia. So this story comes out of a Tlingit language project that was up in the interior, making some curriculum. The story, I heard it from S'igeidí Bessie Cooley, and I asked the folks who were doing the project if I could take that audio and make a little book out of it. And so we were staying in San Francisco this summer, and then I did the illustrations and put this little book together. And so it was fun, and I'm hoping to do some more little ones like this because we need more kind of bite-sized books. I did some books with George and Marge, and we sat down and I said, I said, my kids eat real food. I want them to hear real language. So then they gave us like a big, huge language, and it's amazing, but it's they're adult readers, and so I want to do more like little kid, and even like little kids books because I think this stuff is kind of fun. So we'll just take turns. I don't know if there's not enough pages maybe for everybody, but whoever wants to read a sentence will read it, and then we'll sort of translate it, and I'll tell you a few things that are going on in each of these pages. And then we'll take a look at our alak'áchʼ and then see what we've got left after that, see what we want to do. I know there's this game I thought it's really neat. And there's also other folks who have games and ideas on things to do in the language. If it's me, I'm like, let's just study verbs all day, all night, forever. But then other folks want to there's games, there's these really neat story dice that they have at the bookstore and toy stores here in town. We were messing around with those, and you roll them, and there's different ways to play it, but you roll and there's a bunch of different images. And I was telling them, I was like, let's make a story. And then you just look at the image and we collectively put a story together. And that was a lot of fun too. We had to sort of figure out how we would say certain things, and that's going to lead you into just finding more verbs, finding more ways to say it. And then, alak'áchʼ. The slideshow that I was showing you, the question that she has is, will we get to look at place names at some point? So the slideshow with the squirrel is part of a larger, or the slides in there were part of a larger slideshow that's called Learning Tlingit Through Place Names. So we'll come back into that next week, and we'll start going through, because what it does, it starts going through different parts of speech, showing you how they all link together, then using some place names in Tlingit, Jilkat, Dakka, alak'áchʼ, from the Chilkoot area, Chilkat area, inland, and the Juneau area. And then I'll show you how those things sometimes get put together in place names. Okay, so here's this little book. I just love that phrase. Cyril gave us that one. Let Tlingit exist forever. And then, whoops. Okay, who wants to read the first sentence? Anybody?
I'll do it. S'igeidí wush hunich hasiti.
Okay, so we'll do this in little chunks all together. S'igeidí
S'igeidí
alak'áchʼ wush
hunich
hasiti.
hasiti.
So there's some neat things in here. I think these are both, there's a theory that Zeush was sharing, James Crippen, that really old things that have been here forever have really short names. Yeich, Hoots, Ch'ak. They don't mean this, you can't translate them, they are the names of those things. But then there are other things that have these names that either come from a verb or are a compound. And so one of the things that S'igeidí seems to be a compound, because what a compound does is everything tends to go short and low except for the thing at the end. So if we sort of took this word apart, we probably have S'igeidí, because we know how Tlingit likes to compound, but we don't really know why. It would mean thing below the black bear. It's just something to think about. And then we know that this one comes from a verb. So there's this one sort of sound switch that you're going to see that's really interesting. And it's a TL and a CH just sort of moving back and forth. Or sometimes, in this case, it's a TS with an apostrophe. So cha can be something that's on the front of a verb, just like we did sha and ya and k'e and all these other things that could go in front of a verb. And there's a lot of them that are body parts. So when you have cha at the front of a verb, what do you think that means? Well, k'e or cha is mouth, but just cha without the apostrophe. So here's a hint. Naqat'e is a fox. But you could say Chashgleit naqat'e. That's a white fox. Chasht Uch naqas'e. That's a black fox. So there's a ch that's in there. And what is changing color on the fox? The fur or the hair. So ch in the verb means hair. And in Tlingit, chawu is hair, but it's also a porcupine quill. Alak'áchʼ means sharp. Alak'áchʼ also means sharp. Sometimes it just switches to the CH sound. We'll see it in a few different places. There's a story called Duktuj. Tuj is where it comes from. But that ending switches, and there's a few things that it does that for. So alak'áchʼ means sharp hair or sharp quills. Whatever we want to look at. Okay. So so that's the first part, who we're talking about. S'igeidí. What is that?
Friends together they are.
They are friends, right? So there's a number of different things. So achuni, ihuni, duhuni, his or her friend, his or her. Usually we're talking about in a Tlingit cultural concept, they're probably the same moiety, or else we would be saying kani, right? It's not always that way nowadays, but I think it used to be that way more often. But you say wushchuni, because it could also mean friend. They're friends to each other. That's what the whoosh is doing there, right? So you have ach, du, ha, yi, hastu. You could also put whoosh in there for something, right? And then hasati, they are. So this underlined X right here is saying what they are. Wushchuni hasati, they are friends, right? Anybody want to read this one?
alak'áchʼ, S'igeidí, Hintak, Ugut.
Okay. Alak'áchʼ,
alak'áchʼ,
S'igeidí,
S'igeidí,
Dide,
Hidide,
Ugut.
Ugut.
So there's the alak'áchʼ and the S'igeidí. And so there's some fun word order things here. It tells us who's doing it. Then it says S'igeidí, Hitti. So the beaver's house. Then we see hit. So there's a fun combination of suffixes going on here. Hit, to make that possessive, hitti. And then to go to the hitti, hitti day. So it has to do that little sing-songy pattern. Do, 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 do. That's how it's going to work, right? And then what is the wugut part? Went, right? So how would we translate this to English?
The porcupine went to the beaver's house.
The porcupine went to the beaver's house, right? And so this is how Tlingit would, there's different ways you could say it, but when we asked the speaker to translate these lines, this is what they gave to us. Okay. Natu. Who wants to read this one? Okay. Alak'áchʼ. Weduchawu.
Weduchawu.
Hit ye.
Hit ye.
Ajiwanak.
Ajiwanak.
Okay, so there's our alak'áchʼ again. The we. Sometimes you're going to get we. Sometimes you're going to get a we. A lot of times if you're just talking or telling a story, it just gives you a little bit of space. That's sometimes what it does. We or a we. In this case, it's probably talking about a specific thing, like that thing. But sometimes you're going to get a we. And it's also good to know how to use a we. I think we've talked about that before. that's a nice way to just give yourself a little break. If you have to make your big speech, instead of going, say, oh, and then we'll all wait. We're like, ooh, that sounds really neat. Right? So what is duchawu? His quills, right? It could also be his hair. We know it's a porcupine, so it's his quills. And then we've got this next section, hit ye. Everybody online want to take a crack at that one? Hit ye.
Inside the house?
Yeah, away. Hit ye inside the house. And then we have two parts here. Ajiwanak. Do we know that verb? Check it out. So we should be able to say, okay, that's a verb. I'm going to look up knock. Let me go find it.
Is it let it go?
It is let it go. So, Elsa, Dushia, Jinak, right? Knock. That's the command from Jinak would be just like let it go. But if we were to look it up, we'll go down. And so just familiarizing yourself with the story niche, alphabetizing system. It's going it's going from the lips back into the throat. So their vowel order, if we sort of look at these, we go to the ends. It's going to go EE, it's going to be first. Then you're going to get EI. Then you're going to get OO. Then you're going to get AA. That's just how they do things. It's just if you could remember that, then you'll get faster at looking these things up. The K underline is going to be towards the end, knock. And we see it right there because the J is in the front. And then we'll get all different forms of this verb. To let it go, to leave it behind, to release your prisoners, if that's what you're going to do. And if we want to learn more about these verbs as we look at these stories, we can go into Agishawu's work, and then we'll see it right here. Jinak, jinak, heshinakik, don't let go. Ajiwanak, there it is, it's right there, right? And then we've got these different forms, right? So then we go back to our story. The right before the verb, if it's high-toned, what it means is at that place. It's just something that just watch how speakers use it. You could do it just fine without it, but it just adds something. So, the porcupine, those quills of his inside the house, that is where he left them. And so, it's a matter of interpreting these verbs, because you could say achiwanak, like let go of the lion, let go of the person, let go of the ball, let go of whatever. But it could also be like to leave something, right? Oh, she left her pencil here. Because it could be just to sort of drop it and leave it behind as well. It just depends on the context. You good?
I have a question. I'm looking at these two illustrations in the book.
Mm-hmm.
And like for ye, for being in the house, there isn't anything comparable in this box sort of diagram.
Mm-hmm.
Is that why?
Okay.
What's awesome?
The question is, looking at this, there's these two illustrations, this one and this one, which are both in the Hausanecha Yukatungi book. And the question is, like, ye is listed here, and so is neich, but it's not listed here. So the thing with the three boxes is trying to show you relationships between different objects. So most of these things are going to be through, between, on, inside, those types of things. If we go back, there's also these sort of global things. Out to sea, up above, down below, up to the inland. Included in that is inside of a house.
So is ye only
Ye
inside of a
is
house?
inside of a building or a
Building.
house,
Okay,
right?
not inside a globe
Nope.
or
It could be inside of a person if they're like a home,
if they're at home.
like a Pinocchio, where yai, ye he was inside that whale. But it's usually a home. But that's the raven in the whale story. He flies into that whale. He says, "Ha, nesh, nesh." How does he say it? Nesh gua. No, I can't remember. Nesh gua. Yeah. Anyways, he says, maybe this is like a house. Then they would say ya yi. So, but yi means inside the house, and you use it when you are outside of the house. This is one of those. There's a couple of them where which one you use depends on where you're at. So you nesh when you're nesh, and you yi when you're yi. Okay. Anybody want to read this? Anybody online want to read this, maybe?
S'igeidí clealtú tuá uisce.
Sheesh. S'igeidí.
S'igeidí.
Clestu tuwa ushka. How do we translate that?
Beaver. It doesn't want the beaver. The beaver go on it? The beaver doesn't want it.
Yes, the beaver doesn't want it, right? So tuwa ushka would be doesn't want it. Tuwa ushka would be wasn't happy. Kind of similar, but there's that tuwa and tuwa that are very similar, but that's what's going to tell, same thing. Tuwa sigu, tuwa sigu. It's just going to be important to just sort of remember those as you hear them and use them, right? Although he does look unhappy. Okay. And let's do these in two sections. Whoever wants to read the first one, go ahead.
Alak'áchʼ ye yawka.
Okay. Alak'áchʼ ye yawaka. Okay. So there's another verb. Have we seen this verb before?
Yes, to say it.
Yeah, to say it, right? So ye yawaka. So again, if we wanted to, to look it up, we would look up ka, and we'll go down, underline K, go through our vowels, and we get ka to send, and this is the one, because as we sort of continue to look at these things, we're going to say yawaka. There's a ya on the front of it, right? There's a ya, the same place where the and the cha and the other things were. It's right there. Ye yawaka. And this is how you put things into quotation marks. He said this, she said that, right? And then you're going to have some sort of quotation about the thing that they said. And can someone read what he says?
S'igeidí nouns.
Okay. S'igeidí nouns. S'igeidí nouns. So there's, how about S'igeidí? What is that part?
To your house.
To your house. And what's the nach'áchʼ part?
Let's go.
Let's go. So now, if you're with a group of people and you're speaking Tlingit, you could go anywhere. The sky's the limit, right? Nach'áchʼ means let's go. What about if we're going to go in a car? Nach'áchʼ, yeah, away, right? And so that's just let's go. And then, so it's another verb mode. It's what we call hortative. This is how you'd sort of make a suggestion or a command to a group of people. So, S'igeidí nach'áchʼ. So that's what he says.
Let's go to your house.
Yeah, away. Let's go to your house. Sheesh. Can someone read this first part up here? Sheesh. S'igeidí yawak'áchʼ. So now the beavers says, can someone read this part?
Kegu.
Okay. Alak'áchʼ. Ka. Kegu. Alak'áchʼ ka kegu. So what is alak'áchʼ? My back, right? My back. Ka. On it.
Get on.
Yep. Kegu.
Go in upon it. Walk upon it.
Yeah. So we're going to learn. Dasa?
Get on my back.
Yes. Get on my back. So if you need to say this, now you know how to say it, right? Who knows? I don't know.
Get off.
Yeah, so yeah. Alak'áchʼ. So it would be naku. This one you're getting kegu. And there's a couple, once we talked about that squirrel. Once he starts moving, he's getting complicated. So we had it at wugut, went. Nach'áchʼ is let's go, because one goot is only one person. So we're not going to goot anywhere. We're going to ought. It has to switch to ought. You're going to get quite a few verbs that do that. Standing, sitting, walking, sleeping. Those are all different whether you're talking about one person or multiples. Most of the motion verbs are like that. Walking, running, swimming, jumping. They're going to be different if you're talking about plural or singular. This?
Did you say dugu?
Nagu.
Nagu. So it's one, nagu is one word.
Yeah. Alak'áchʼ onto my back. Kegu. Kegu means to go up onto it. Right? You're going, it's got an upward thing. Because you could say kegu and you could say yegu. Yegu would be go down on that thing, right? Like maybe in a boat or something. Okay. Alak'áchʼ kegu.
For kids, this would be like piggyback.
Yeah, right? You could say, yeah, if you're doing piggyback with kids, you could say alak'áchʼ kegu. Because you don't want to tell them to jump on your back, because then
Crawl.
back injuries start. Okay. Now, can somebody read this one?
Alak'áchʼ S'igeidí ka ke uwagut.
Sheesh. Alak'áchʼ. S'igeidí.
S'igeidí.
Ka.
Ka.
Ke uwakut.
Ke uwakut.
So again, the word order thing. Who's doing it? We had like S'igeidí hiti. Now we got S'igeidí dichi. Ka, so his back, on it, ke uwakut. So that wugut was to like, he went over there. Ke uwakut. He got up on top of there. And this is something else you're going to see with some of the motion verbs. Wugut means just did that thing. Uwagut means completed that thing. Right? So it has a sense of sort of things in Tlingit can have kind of a goal sometimes, not all the time, but that's the difference between wugut and uwagut, is to say, oh yeah, he went up on there. It's a completed action. It's a goal type of a thing. Okay, here we go. Somebody read that. If you haven't read yet, go ahead and read now.
S'igeidí, did, woo-hoo.
Hey, S'igeidí,
S'igeidí.
alak'áchʼ.
Nahashati.
Oops, I brought it high right there. alak'áchʼ.
Nahashati day.
Woohoo.
Woohoo.
Okay, so there's S'igeidí. We got alak'áchʼ, which is, anybody know what that is?
Driftwood.
Yeah, it's driftwood, right? So, and there's two types of driftwood in Tlingit. There's probably multiple, but there's at least two. The type that's floating in the water and the type that's sitting on the beach. This one is floating on the water. And so there is a part in here, hash, which means to drift or to float. Right? And so you'll see this one in some people's names, like Anyahlahash and things like that. But that hash means to drift or to float. Ut is a thing, and day, so nahash'ati day. And then what is woohoo? Swimming, right?
Dog paddle.
Yeah, oh wow. So there's a bunch of different ways to swim, but if we encountered this woohoo verb, we would go to who, and then you'll see Yahoo right here. So Yahoo becomes woohoo. That's pretty fun. And it's to swim on the surface of an animal, especially for some kind of mammal. And so if we think about the way a beaver swims, so this is the other thing in Tlingit. It's sort of like it depends how it's doing that particular thing, right? So woohoo would be a dog paddle. So dogs, people, especially people who don't swim very well, like me, people say, is he swimming or drowning? And then to swim more sort of vigorously, there's a different type. And then there's fish swimming, mammals who poke their head up now and then. So it's one of those, there's a few of these categories where there's a bunch of different ways to do that one particular thing. I'll read this one. Or I guess no, someone else read this top one. Everybody gets practice.
S'igeidí yalak'áchʼ.
Sheesh. S'igeidí yalak'áchʼ.
S'igeidí alak'áchʼ.
This helps in your being able to put narratives together. Then the beavers say, right? And now the beavers say. Can somebody read this part?
S'igeidí ayah.
Sheesh. Achiti ayah.
Ahiti ayah.
How do we translate that?
That's my house.
This is my house. Right? So same, and we can see how this could change. Achiti awah. That's my house. Achiti ayah. This is my house. Achiti ayah. That's my house way over there. Who wants to read this one?
alak'áchʼ S'igeidí nid hit.
Okay. Gonna cheese cat. alak'áchʼ S'igeidí
S'igeidí.
ka
Ka.
Hintak.
Hintak.
And on the coast, we would say S'igeidí. So this is things where we really get good. We get skilled at spotting the verb. We're going to read S'igeidí almost like it sounds like one word, because this K part, because this would be woodlit, but the K pushes that to just drop that one vowel. And this is where you're going to get the M for the inland speakers, is when the perfective contracts and the next thing is a consonant. That's where you get the M. If you want to go to Daysleen and you want to fit in, you don't want to sound like some coastal person, then these are some of the things you have to learn. Then you also have to learn some Canadian English as well, like a decal. I don't know if you guys say decal, but I have to figure out what that is. Okay, so what is this one? How do we translate this one?
Porcupine climbed up on the, well, it's his house, but it's the drifting stuff.
Yeah, so on this driftwood, the porcupine climbed up on this driftwood. Why is that? Why does eye turn blue? Okay. Did I do that? Okay, there it is. Okay. It's like, wow, he got a black eye. Okay. So this is one we looked at earlier, though, with climbing up into the tree. Right, so this is another one. As we encountered this, et. What we're going to go look for is 8. So we'll go under here and we'll see the TL apostrophe EIT apostrophe, to climb, to hold tightly with pressure. This is the Tlingit. And so again, if we wanted to sort of just keep using these dictionaries and I say, I want to learn more about it. So now we can go to the English side and go look up climb, and we can see a few probably examples of this verb. Clasp, clear, climb, Tlingit. As'da'chʼ, he climbed the tree. But this is holding on around it. That's what the da part is doing. So a bear would probably climb the tree like that, but a squirrel probably wouldn't. And same with a cat. Right? So there's just all these conceptual things that are so fun and Tlingit. S'igeidí. So yada, S'igeidí is around, that's getting towards the top of the mountain. Because you have Sha, and once you get to the top, it's turning into a ya, a face. Yada is around that top of the mountain. So anytime you start getting, you got to start using your hands to get up there as well. That's not goot anymore, that's 8. And so these are just some things, like and so these little stories are fun because even like just little bite-sized pieces of Tlingit, there's lots of stuff to sort of dive into. Yeah, we'll probably leave it at that. So we didn't get to the Cyril stuff. We'll finish this story on Tuesday. We'll look at the Cyril George translations. If you're in Juneau, there is, or if you're coming to Juneau, there's an immersion this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday here at UAS in the Glacier View room. If you didn't get a chance to sign up, just show up. It'll be fine. It'll be wonderful to see folks here. We'll have two different kind of rooms. One will be for conversations, one will be for lessons. So I encourage you to go into the conversations, but if you're feeling like you're getting overwhelmed at some point, drift on over to the lessons. Or if you know some folks that are pretty new to Tlingit, you might let them know that there are also lessons going on. And we're going to try not to interrupt the flow of Tlingit in the conversations room. There'll be a break room for with some toys and other things where you could bring kids if they need a break. We don't have any sort of daycare options. Saturday evening, if you're interested, there's a PhD acquisition celebration at the VTRC from 6 to 8. And it's like a superhero costume if you want to, because we asked our kids what they wanted to do, and that's what they wanted to do. And yeah, I hope you guys' studies are going great. I know you guys are doing good stuff. We cover lots of conceptual stuff and new stuff, and so yak'áchʼ, achtu yak'áchʼ, yikach, and chish, ye'awa. Ah,
Okay, did you print this book?
not yet, but I probably will. I was trying to get some folks to do it who print books, but people aren't into printing books that don't have English on them. So I'll probably figure out a way to get it done, because it was a fun project.
It is very, very cool.
Sheesh. Wait till you see what happens. Yak'áchʼ,